My name is Wissam Edessa, and I am super delighted to officially launch my book, Lumpsum Conversion for EPC Projects, the proven five-step system for managing convertible contracts. Why I wrote this book? So a couple of things. I realized that there is a lack of practical resources for managing convertible contracts, especially in the high-stakes, fast-paced environment like our EPC environment. After spending 35 years in the project management and contract administration domain, studying contract law at Harvard and construction law at York University, and after leading several successful lump sum conversions on the Husky Sunrise project, 400 and something million, Imperial ATM project, 650 million, Bryan Energy Mackay River commercial facilities conversion, about 450 million, and after working on several mega projects, including the last one, for example, where I spent 7.5 years on the Trans Mountain Expansion project, a $32 million project. And after, being responsible for $17.5 billion would it be worth of contract, my goal for this book is to make it easy to understand, the lump sum conversion process that is easy to implement. I love convertible contracts because, in my humble opinion, they offer the best of both worlds, cost reimbursable and lump sum. This book distills everything I've learned over the years and a 35-year kind of career to give you the tools, the confidence you need to succeed in managing convertible contracts. What problems does this book solve? So the EPC world is full of uncertainty, especially in these crazy times, right? And, tight budgets, cost overruns, market volatility, geopolitical tensions, you name it. And controlling costs while maintaining flexibility, owners love that, right? Getting cost and schedule certainty on major projects, but doing it at the absolutely right time for the parties, when the contractor is prepared to do so, at certain time in the engineer progression, after ordering some long lead items and studying fully constructability and getting to know the construction field a little bit and so forth. That would be the perfect time to start the conversion and finish it within a few weeks, depending on the complexity. It could be a few months. But essentially, with it, you convert the contract into a fixed lump sum price. But you need a system for that. And this five-step system ensures that you're empowered to achieve these goals, to ensure better financial outcomes for the EPC contractor as well as the owner. A couple of things to add. Special thanks to Garrett Eisenbrand, the General Counsel at Worley, and Raymond Aaron, the best-selling author, New York 10 best-selling author, for their fantastic foreword, as well as Bob Jensen, the senior legal counsel at the Trans Mountain Expansion project up until recently, and Keith Nutting, who was the location director of Worley in New Zealand, for their fantastic testimonials. I'll pause here so that I can take a look at the testimonials because I want to share it with you guys. Garrett wrote, "There is no individual better suited to provide this type of reference document than Wissam. In my years of working with him, Wissam has been unquestionably the most sophisticated and erudite project professional with whom I have had the pleasure of working. He is a consummate professional in an industry where high stakes and high reward can lead to compromised principles and practices. Wissam's years of experience on large dollar value, high risk projects unquestionably qualify him to provide this resource for the benefit of our EPC industry." And this is absolutely where my heart is. There's a lot of projects that are not proceeding because the owner is terrified about cost and schedule delays at these times, uncertain times. And the contractors are terrified to take on fixed lump sum price contracts, especially in these tough times. And that's why the convertible contract is the absolute solution to this problem. where owner and contractor can proceed on a cost reimbursable basis until they understand the scope, the risk, and this and that, and what have you, and follow the 5 steps. And, both parties at the right time will determine which risk the better party suited to take on will take on. And the lump sum contract they form drives the absolute right behavior. Because for the contractor, they want to get out of site as soon as possible to maximize their profit, which is very conducive to maintaining things on schedule. The owner, having given a lot of risks to the EPC contractor, needs to step back and allow them to do their thing and finish. And they have a vested interest to minimize rework so that they do things the right time, the first time, because any rework is to their account, right? And therefore, they have vested interest to get out of there as soon as possible, especially that most of the time there would be liquidated damages at the tail end of the project if they miss the mechanical completion date. For the owner, that means that they step back and just process payments, agree to milestone payments. And, as long as we're very clear from the very beginning, and this is one of the items in the system, is we're very clear on the turnover requirements at the very beginning so that we're driving the EPC backward so that it's construction-led procurement and engineering. Writing a lump sum proposal at these difficult times is a science and art, but there's a process for it. And when you buy the book, you'll understand the process, but you also have access to multiple templates, like the negotiation template I've used in my past life. I refined it, I played with it several times, I changed it, I added my own acronyms, I added my own lessons learned, best practices, and I keep refining it. It's not a static document, but it achieves the goals of both parties. And that's a good segue to what Bob Jensen wrote in his testimonial, that Wissam, the humble servant here, has extensive knowledge of complex construction contracts. His deep understanding of contract models, structures, and critical success factors position him perfectly to author this publication. Wissam is an excellent and rare negotiator. I have to agree with him on that one. Rare, especially. Guiding discussions to workable and favorable outcome. And for people that know Bob Jensen, I'm honored to have him say that, really, after working with him for a good part of the 7 years on Transmount. When you order the book, you log into the website for the book, which includes exclusive bonuses, like, for example, and right now, the use of artificial intelligence made it fantastically beautiful to run convertible contracts. There's also an ebook on claims prevention in convertible contracts, and believe me, I was the senior manager of claims change management and closeout. And the best is to ensure that there are no claims to begin with. So the prevention piece is very, very important. But if parties proceed in good faith, they read the full contract and they ensure that the deliverables under the contract are fully extracted, tabulated, assigned to the right parties that will be accountable for ensuring that all the deliverables under the contract, and there's a science and art of extracting these deliverables and doing it in a RASI chart. By the way, that template is also included in there to ensure that when they get audited or things don't go well, they know exactly what they have to deliver and how and by when under the contract, and there is no stone unturned. For both parties, that's a beautiful thing to have. Best practices for smooth and efficient and successful lump sum conversion is another bonus there, as well as 45-minute Q&A with myself, absolutely free. Love to talk about your challenges, your issues, your problems, your pain points, And I assure you that I'll deliver value. You'll benefit from that, hopefully meaningful discussion to you, and that it will not be the last time. With that, I'll end with this. Happy reading, and thanks for your time listening to me. By the way, plans for the book is to be translated into multiple languages, because a lot of the oil and gas companies and a lot of the EPC companies, both executives and professionals, project director, estimating, risk professionals, supply chain, legal, would benefit from learning about these strategies and practical applications and lessons learned and so forth, which I think will enrich the EPC industry. This is the only book on the market for this topic, and that's why I felt passionately that I needed to do something to move the industry forward. It's fantastic for Alberta, it's fantastic for Canada, and it's fantastic elsewhere as well. Final warm regards from beautiful Calgary here, and look forward to have you read the book. Click the link below for the Canadian customers. There's a link, and the US customers, there's another link, as well as there's a link to book the 45-minute call with your humble servant. I'm looking forward to it, and have a wonderful day, and looking forward to chat with you soon.